Hi everyone, welcome to FinTech Academy. This is Hirsch. Today I want to show you how to create, edit, delete, and reactivate chart of accounts in QuickBooks Online. Chart of accounts is important for any business as the two most valuable reports of a business, the profit and loss, i.e. the income statement, and the balance sheet are dependent on chart of account. QuickBooks already sets up a predefined chart of accounts when you create the company and when we select the industry during the creation. Based on that, the assets, liabilities, equity accounts, income accounts, cost of goods sold accounts, and expenses accounts are already created in the chart of accounts. We can certainly add more chart of accounts as we need, and mostly all the businesses might need to do that because they will have to create their own bank accounts, credit card accounts, maybe certain expenses accounts, as well as other kind of accounts in QuickBooks Online. Right guys, so let's get started in action and let's see in QuickBooks Online how do we do that. Alright, so we are in QuickBooks Online. Right over here it is the dashboard. To go to the chart of accounts, there are two ways to do that. You can click on the gear icon, which is on the top right, and right in your company section you will be able to see chart of accounts. This is one way to do that. The other option is on the left hand navigation, and if you go to accounting, there you will see the chart of accounts as well. So either of those ways will work, whichever is preferable. The reason there are two of those, because there is also this hamburger icon. Now someone says that I do not want to use this left hand navigation bar for whatever reason. You can click on that hamburger icon. That's going to push that whole left hand navigation bar away. So how do I get it then? Well, you go to the gear icon and you can get the chart of accounts right over here. So let's say I'm going to click on that. I'm in the chart of accounts over here. Now if I want to click on that hamburger icon and get the left hand navigation back, I certainly can do that, and we are at the same place in the chart of accounts right over here. So in the chart of accounts we can see there are various fields starting with name, type, detail type, tax rate, QuickBooks balance, bank balance, and action. So the interesting one is type and detail type. Now those who are using QuickBooks Desktop, they will not see this specific one, detail type, as it is new in QuickBooks Online. There is no detail type in QuickBooks Desktop, but the most valuable field over here is type. Why? Because all your financial reports, i.e. the balance sheet and profit and loss, are based on the type. If you get type wrong, the numbers are going in the wrong directions. So let's understand a little bit more detail about what is the difference between the type, that is also called account type, and detail type. Alright, so what is account type and detail type? Well, account type, when you create an account in QuickBooks Online, you will choose a broad account type. It could be an expense, it could be income, it could be liability, etc. And then you select a detail account type. Now, the detail account type assigns the account into a subcategory in order to have it appear in the correct place according to GAAP, which is also called generally accepted accounting principles. Just like account type, detail types are also predefined and cannot be changed by the user. If you cannot find the exact type you are looking for, you will need to select the detail type that is the nearest match. And that's what many times that is a concern by users. They ask me harshly, hey, you know what, I can't find exactly the detail type. Well, the goal is not that you should find exactly the detail type, but it is that get the one which is making the most sense. So for example, let's say we select the account type as expenses, and in detail type you have different options that will pop up. There could be, like, let's say someone says I want to create a meals expense. Now there could be meals and entertainment, there could be travel meals, there could be promotional meals. What type of transaction will go and that account is what is important. So i.e., let's say if you select travel meals, QuickBooks is going to show you a small little description that what type of transactions you should record when you use this account name as travel meals. Now, the good thing is that when you select in the detail type travel meals, automatically that name is shown as a default in the account name title, whatever you select in the detail type. Of course, you can change the name and give a different name if you want to as per your company, but that's what QuickBooks will do. Whatever you select in the detail type, that will be shown in the account name. Let's see in action. I'll show you how it works, right? Once again, the financial reports are based on the account type. Alright guys, so let's have a look over here. I'm going to go on the top and there is a new, wherein we will be creating a new chart of accounts. I'm going to click on the new right over here, okay? And the first thing that we need to provide over here is the account type. I will go down and let's say I select expense. I would like to create an expense and we have the detail type coming up. Now this detail type is mandatory, so we have to select one from here. Let's say if I go down and I see there is meals and entertainment like this, there is the small little description which I was talking about previously. If I go further down, you will see there is promotional meals, another one. And if I go further down, then you will see one more which is called travel meals. Now, you know, all these different kind of meals accounts are showing up. If you see detail type has travel meals, the name also exactly the same has been put over here. Let's read this description. Use travel meals to track how much you spent on food while traveling. So basically that's the whole purpose of this specific account that is over here that we create. If you dine with a customer to promote your business, use a promotional meals account instead. If you dine with your employees to promote morale, use entertainment meals instead. So it has a meaningful explanation that why we should or what kind of transactions we should record in this travel meals. Let's say I let it be travel meals. There is a small little description if I want to mention, right, just as a guide. I can also put a default tax code over here. Let's say I want to put in as HST Ontario, okay, as a tax code, and I say save and close. When I click on that, it's going to save this chart of account and complete. Oops, sorry, something is not quite right. What it is? Well, another account already using this name. Please use a different name. So there is another account with this name already created by QuickBooks Online for us. So technically we don't need to create this. So someone says, well, you know what, we call it as a different name, we don't call it travel meals, and I would like to create that one. Well, you have two options. A, you can create one more over here and give the appropriate name, whatever as per your organization or as per your company, or you can pull out from here like this. You can go to travel meals in this little space of search. You can type in like this, right? And I can click on this small drop down on the extreme right, click on edit like this, and go over here and change the name to whatever is as per the company. And once we do that, we are already able to see there's a description that has been provided. Let's say, you know, we want to call it instead of travel meals, let's say we will say sales travel meals like this. Just a little bit change on that, and if I click save and close, I do that, and there you go, it is updated over here with that part showing that now it is called sales travel meals. So this is how, you know, you can create an account, and you can the whole access about the detail type, which is important, right, that shows up and that gets connected. Now we can see over here the detail type is still travel meals, whereas my account name is changed to sales travel meals. Alright, so let's create one more chart of account right over here. I will click on new again, and let's say that is also an expense. I'm going to select expense again, and in the detail type, let's say the account which I want to create is going to be fuel expenses. So let's say if I click on auto, which is right over here, it tells me use auto to track costs associated with vehicles. You may want different accounts of this type to track gasoline, repairs, and maintenance. If your business owns a car or truck, you may want to track its value as a fixed assets in addition to tracking its expenses. So instead of auto, let's say if I want to change this as fuel expenses, yes, certainly I can do that right over here. And you have the default tax code which is coming up, that is HST. We will talk about these tax codes a little bit after in a short time, once we understand this part of creation. And let's say if I select HST, depending on the region where you are, I am in the region of Ontario, right? So I selected that and I did save and close. So what has happened now is that my one more account has been created. If I type in fuel expenses, I will be shown over here fuel expenses, the type is expenses, and the detail type over here is auto. All right, so what are the tax codes? Let's understand about that. Well, tax codes are exempt, zero rated, HST Ontario, and out of scope. These are by default that come up, the tax codes. Now that depends on the location where you are, because I'm in Ontario, it has shown the HST. If you're in a different province, then yes, it is going to show it accordingly, whichever province you selected. But let's understand, the first is exempt. Exempt is a class of services which are always exempt from GST. These services are defined in the GST regulations. Examples are interest, life insurance premiums, federal and provincial taxes. So basically, if you are creating a chart of account which is anything like this kind of thing, then you can assign the default tax code as exempt on that. The good thing is when you assign the tax code right in the chart of accounts, you are making things easy for yourself, because when you are entering the transaction, QuickBooks will ask, if you haven't assigned it, QuickBooks will force you to provide the tax code. And if you have already done that, you don't have to worry, because QuickBooks is already having that information. So you can just, when you book the transaction, enter the other basic stuff and go ahead and save your transaction easily. Zero rated, the next one. Zero rated is for goods/services that are normally taxable, but in special situations the tax is not charged, i.e. exported goods. So any kind of goods which are generally taxable, but if for whatever reason like exports are being done, there is no tax on that, you can assign those under the category of zero rated. The third one, pretty straightforward, HST Ontario. HST Ontario is just your normal taxable goods in Ontario, where they have a combined sales tax called HST instead of a PST GST system. HST means to say harmonized sales tax. HST operates exactly like GST except for the rate. As of now, the rate for HST is 13%. All right, the last one is out of scope. Out of scope means that a transaction or an item on a transaction will be left totally out of your GST calculations. Another term for out of scope could be non-taxable. So something that you don't want to get it appear in your sales tax reports at all, that is what you can put as a out of scope. Okay, so these are the tax codes which by default they pop up, and a little bit a part of explanation. Right guys, let's have a look in QuickBooks. How do we do the editing of the accounts, or how do we delete an account in that sense? Well, editing is pretty simple. Let's say if I pick up sales promotional, for example, as one of the accounts, and we think that this account we do not want to use any longer, or we want to edit. Well, you have the small drop down over here, edit is over here. Now as far as deletion is concerned, you can cannot delete an account in QuickBooks Online, but you have an option over here which is make inactive. As soon as you click on that, there will be a pop-up that will come up. Are you sure you want to inactivate this account? And if I say yes to that, there you go, that account is gone from here. We can see it has been marked like this, deleted over here. Well, that is the reason why we are able to see that, because in the gear icon, which is the small little one within chart of accounts, not the one which is right in the top, this is the one. In that we have the option which is include inactive is check mark. If I uncheck that, then you won't be able to see that account at all. So if I'm looking for sales promotional, now we cannot see that, because the reason is that we have unchecked the include inactive. Let's say if I put it back, right, and that means it's going to show me. And if I give a search again, let's say sales promotional, where are you? Right over here. It's going to show me that that's the item which is having deleted over here. The good thing is, yes, I can make that account active as well. So how do I do that? Well, right opposite to the part where we were in chart of accounts, right? If I scroll down further over here on and keep an eye on this action, there is make active. I just have to click on that make active, and there you go, that account is now active. The deleted symbol is gone, and it can be reused whenever we want to. Right guys, so if you found this video helpful, please click like on our video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Also, let me know in comments what would you like to see in future videos, like Harsh, I want to see this video, or Harsh, can you make video on this topic for QuickBooks Desktop and or QuickBooks Online. Alternatively, you can visit us at www.fintechsolutions.ca for our courses. Thanks for watching.